I'm Calgary born, but I'm Toronto raised.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So as a baby, I was brought over here like 1 or 2 years old, and most of my life's been in Toronto.
Okay.
Living up in Caledon East, and there's a lot of, it's mostly farmland.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up with cows, horses. You know, my mom was into horses, owning them, goats. My dad and my mom were together at the time, and there were a lot of dogs on the farm and all of that.
A lot of animals.
Yeah. So at around grade 5 or grade 6, I went straight from farm into like
City.
the projects.
Oh, okay.
Never mind the city. Yeah, so I'm here in like the projects type of thing, you know, because my dad owned a home there. So I went from my mom's when they separated. During that time when I was younger, I ended up going into that area. So in North York, and I grew up there from grade 6 to about 13 years of my life, and then I started branching out, moving around in different places in Toronto. In and out of Toronto.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, my mom, she's an inventor, right? So
Hold on.
yeah.
Inventor?
Yeah, inventor. So like there's a story that she tells me about how she invented the Cabbage Patch Kids, and she took it to like these people who are a big corporation who are trying to, like, you know, they invest in people like that, who are small entrepreneurs with ideas, and then
Shark Tank.
yeah, exactly, that type of thing. And they took her idea because she didn't have the right backings, you know, in terms of like making sure everything was patented properly before she opened her mouth, and that turned into like the Care Bears, yeah, and the Cabbage Patch. So I don't know if this is all true. This is all hearsay, my mom's words in my ears. So hey, I can only believe what comes out of her mouth. But she's an artist, and she's so creative. So I would not deny it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No.
She's very creative. Like, I get a lot of inspiration from her.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like even this Joker piece behind me is family inspired, you know?
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
We'll get into the pieces because you have amazing stuff in here.
Right.
So we'll get some back, the inside scoop.
Yeah, but yeah, she's a really creative person. And my dad, he could draw also. I was in grade 7, sitting on the dining room table, and I'm like, Dad, look what I drew, because I was already an artist, right? He's like, yeah, you think you're good? Watch this. He drew a man riding a bike. Yeah, and I was like, and he did it in 5 minutes. And I remember the exact picture, like it was so vivid. That's how much it stuck in my head. So yeah, I do have it in my blood.
Yeah, on both
Yeah.
sides, which is weird.
Yeah, both sides. Because right out of high school, I was drawing, like I was doing paintings with acrylics. I wasn't working with oils yet. And I was doing contests for Black History Month. I came second prize. I won $500. And out of that, right out of that, like when I graduated high school, I went right into airbrushing and then tattoos. But throughout the whole time, I was doing paintings. You know what I mean? So I always had this idea or dream to kind of like eventually be famous as an artist in painting. Somewhat. You know what I mean? But I never thought that I'd end up pursuing a full-time career in tattoos, you know? So the tattoos is when all the income started rolling, and I was able to use that money to invest into paints. Paint supplies, canvases, building my own canvases from scratch because I wanted to go bigger, you know, and broaden my horizon with my art, you know, and what I was learning and all of that. I just see people doing bigger things, and I like to I always do what I see. You know, I'm a visual learner. I don't learn through like reading. I learn through watching videos and so forth, you know. So yeah.
That's amazing. So how long have you been doing the tattoo?
12 years.
So both, like
12 to 13 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been doing painting my whole life for 20 years, but only taking it seriously to really say, okay, I'm gonna push now, because I'm like tired of like doing all these art masterpieces on people, and they walk out the door. I'll put 15 hours on one person and it's gone. You know,
See it again.
I never see it again. So I'm like, why didn't I put 15 hours on a canvas?
And sell it.
And I could keep it, or I could sell it, or I could duplicate it and let many enjoy that one piece.
Yeah.
You know? So that was my mindset in taking being an artist, an actual like mixed media artist, to the next level, like seriously. And that started 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so that's like 2020.
Wow.
You know?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's a lot of work in 2 years.
Yeah.
So
I know. Tell me about it.
in the last 2 years as well, we've had a pandemic. So how did you manage through the pandemic? Like kind of just taking it seriously at that time?
Yeah, I was. And I had a lot of pieces that I was working on from my other shop that I had done tattoos out of. It was a smaller shop, like, you know, 400 or 500 square feet. And then I had done like 7 or 8 pieces for that year. And then, you know, similar to this, a little smaller, but 40, 50, 60 hours inputted into each painting. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by detail, like good paintings, you know, quality paintings. And then from there, I went and the pandemic hit and I couldn't work anymore. So I really went in hard with painting now, because, you know, now I'm getting this, like all these little extra money from the COVID that was coming to me. So I was able to like manage all the bills and so forth. And then I was able to just focus on my paintings. And then at the same time, I had sold 2 paintings. And it was the first real sale that I had gotten.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the numbers, but they're definitely with 0 zeros and zeros.
I love that.
Yeah. So I was kind of like one of the happiest moments,
Yeah.
the inspiring moments that really, yeah, that happened during COVID, that really pushed me into like getting a bigger place. So I used the money and invested into this studio that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
So where a lot of people were like suffering and complaining and just dealing with wearing masks and going to school online and all of the, you know, things, and there was so many bad things happening, like, you know, on media was all that negative and stuff. I wouldn't pay attention to any of it. I was just focused more on, I would look into it. I don't want to be dumb and like not know what's going on around me. But at the same time, my main focus was to like complete my mission and get to a better place, just to get to a better level, you know what I mean, than I was at. So